Did you know that stress is an everyday part of life that can be managed? The body can be affected by stress if it is not coped with properly and regularly. Many Americans are affected by stress. So, how does stress affect the body? A few common causes of stress that affect the body, different symptoms that are caused by stress on the body, and different ways to handle stress from affecting your body. First of all, I will begin with what causes stress. There are things that are called stressors. Stressors are anything from situations to pressures that may cause change and stress in everyday life. Some external stressors, which is anything that is outside in the environment that affects you. Those may include major life changes, work, school, relationship difficulties, problems with finances, being too busy, having too many activities, social events, environment, unpredictable events that might happen, such as death, a child being sick. People become overwhelmed with their children and their family. There's too much going on. Some internal stressors may include worrying constantly, fears, phobias, the lack of control of their lives, beliefs, an all or nothing attitude. If you have to have it all, then you're not going to have a great attitude. It's going to be a very stressful life. Lack of flexibility. Most people need to have a flexible schedule or a flexible life in order to cope with certain things. Negative self-talk. Nobody likes a negative Nancy. Also, unrealistic expectations. If you think of yourself as a perfectionist, that's not good. Next, I will discuss different symptoms that may happen due to stress. Those can range from physical, mental, which is cognitive and emotional, to behavioral symptoms. Some of the physical symptoms include aches and pain of the body, diarrhea and constipation, frequent colds, loss of your sexual drive, chest pain, rapid heartbeat. Some people might think that they're having a heart attack, but they're actually having a panic attack due to stress. You can become nauseous, have dizziness. Some of the mental symptoms, the cognitive emotional symptoms, include memory problems, like losing your memory, inability to concentrate, poor judgment. You could wind up in jail, in trouble, anything. Seeing only the negative side of things and not the positive side. You need to look on the brighter side of things and not down on yourself or anybody else. You can become anxious, have racing thoughts in your mind, and constantly worrying about things. Your mood can change, can be up and down all the time. You're very irritable, have a very short temper, become agitated, not able to relax at all. You can be overwhelmed, and there's a sense of loneliness and isolation. People that are stressed out sometimes just come home and isolate themselves from their friends and family, which can lead to depression or general unhappiness. Some of the behavioral symptoms may include eating way more than you do or way less than you do, overindulging or underindulging, and then you could have insomnia, or you could be sleeping way too much. Again, isolating yourself from others. Procrastinating. A lot of people may procrastinate on assignments. Neglecting responsibilities from work, your kids, family, anything. Some people turn to alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, which could lead to more health problems. Also, they may have nervous habits like twirling their hair, twiddling their thumbs, tapping their feet, pacing back and forth. Another interesting topic about stress is ways to manage it. There are different ways. If you know what may trigger your stress is a good start to how to understand what you can control. Many of the triggers can come from finances, family, work, and health. Even not just your health, but a family's health issue. Whether your mom or dad is sick, or your grandmother, to your child. There are many triggers that set people off and stress them out, but not every trigger for one person affects the other. So avoiding triggers, there are ways to avoid them, and every person should be able to recognize those triggers for themselves, because like I said, each trigger for a person is different than what triggers others. Some techniques to reduce and or manage stress are knowing how your body responds to stress. Listen to your body and the language that your body is telling you. Keeping a journal is a great idea. If you write down certain things that trigger you, you can reflect on those and look back and be able to calm yourself down and become in a relaxed state instead of a stressed state. Skills and attitude on how to overcome stress. If you're always negative, then you're never going to be stress-free. You have to have a positive attitude. Also, if there's change in your life, you need to commit to that change. Otherwise, it will cause stress. Accepting things and events that are out of your control. Some may cause huge stress on certain people. Others, you just need to accept them and cope with those changes. Being positive through difficult times. If you have a death in the family, you can't look at it as a negative thing. You need to look at it as a positive thing, although you may be certainly upset. Lastly, I will conclude why stress is important to know about and how it affects the body, whether healthy or not. Stress may lead to diseases by temporarily inhibiting parts of your immune system. Your body has a fight or flight response to stress. You can either fight that off or you can sink down and become in a depressed state. Some stress-related disorders, and these aren't very healthy, are gastritis, ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, migraine headaches, anxiety, hypertension, and depression. There is a greater risk of developing a chronic disease if you have these stress-related disorders, and it could lead to dying early on. So you need to learn how to cope with stress and become a relaxed state. You need to clear your mind, leave certain things behind, or set them aside for a few hours or a day or so, and then revisit them and learn how to handle that stress and those triggers and look towards the positive side.